And yeah, I just don't enjoy it. It's not an enjoyable experience for me, and I don't like any of you.
What's better, childhood or adulthood? Honestly, who really knows? Okay, that's the easy answer, but let's try to go a little more in depth. The argument as to whether childhood or adulthood is better will probably go on forever. What I'd like to do with this video is present to you each side's positives and negatives, then possibly give an answer at the end as to which I think is better. In my eyes, I view childhood as ages 0 to 14. Adulthood is a little more ambiguous. Technically, you become an adult at 18, but we all know that isn't true. I would say adulthood comes between the ages of 21 to 25, depending on the person. Now you might ask, well, you're not an adult yet. How would you be able to compare it? You're right, I have no experience being an adult. However, from observing, I can hypothesize some positives and negatives from it. Yes, you could argue that my words on adulthood might not hold weight, but I think my points will be pretty clear and justifiable. Let's begin. The driving forces of childhood are what makes it so special: curiosity and discovery. From the very beginning, curiosity helps kids take their first step and say their first words. But most importantly, this fierce need to desire is satisfied by the world around us. As a kid, everything you see is new. Every trip is a new experience. First time playing in the park, first donut, first time going to the beach, first day of second grade. I could go on and on with examples. Any day with the first is a great day, a memorable 24 hours. The second strength of our earlier years is freedom. You are completely free from most responsibilities and stressors that plague older people. For a time, you are free from society and all its stereotypes and stigmas. On the same note, you are free to imagine how your life will play out. Remember when everyone said they wanted to be an astronaut or a professional athlete? The future you envision for yourself is created entirely by your imagination, with no external influences. So we've gone over some positives, but let's discuss some drawbacks, because there are some. While you have a lot of freedom like I mentioned, there are also some areas where you don't. You have no ability to change your environment. You are stuck in the place you were born in. Now that might be a good thing for some people, but it could be the opposite for others. Additionally, you do not yet have the ability to create your own personality and form your own ideas. Much of who you are as a kid is directly connected to the people around you. Obviously, it is okay to be influenced by other people, but there is a difference between choosing to do so and just following along without a second thought. Now that I've gone over my thoughts on childhood, allow me to move on to my opinions on adulthood. In the previous section, I began with the pros and ended with the cons. In this part, I will do the opposite. Simply put, being an adult is stressful. Once you reach a certain age, lots of societal expectations develop. Have you discovered your passions? Do you have a job? A well-paying job? Have you started a family before it's too late? It can be equally as hard if you fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. Looking to see who has gotten farther in life is a path to insecurity, jealousy, and resentment. Moreover, where childhood brought new expectations with each day, adulthood can feel like the days overlap into months or even years. There are a ton of components that make adulthood challenging. From bills to balancing relationships, you are responsible for controlling how you live your life. But that control is also a gift. See, as a child, you had no control on your life for the most part. However, as an adult, you have the reach to shape your life how you want to. Yes, you might get stuck in a job you don't like, but that is not a permanent result. And why is that? Because you have control to choose what to do in your life. Additionally, you have an ability to make a mark on the world with your wisdom as you age. You can now impact another person's life by sharing your stories of success and failure. You will understand how all of your experiences, good and bad, have given you the gift of knowledge. That knowledge can be shared and communicated to anyone who needs it. Most importantly though, is that you now value the most important thing to human beings: time. As a kid, you have no sense of time. Yes, you understand that there are 24 hours in a day, but you have not yet understood the reality that your time will run out. As an adult, you will realize that eventually, time will be up for you. With that realization, it is up to you as to whether you want to do something with the finite amount of days you have remaining. But it's better to know that and accept it than to never acknowledge it at all. After talking about both sides, we now reach the question, childhood versus adulthood, which is better? Short answer, it varies from person to person. Let's figure out why. I think your answer correlates with how you respond to these two questions. What is real life and what is real life supposed to look like? Let me explain why these questions are different and how they relate to the main question of the video. As I said, the answers are based on individual opinion, but I believe you can approach a true concept of life, and that is connected to adulthood. See, when you are a kid, you view life in a much different way than most of the population does. Your view is fused with your favorite TV shows and movies, and it is not based on personal experience. As you get older, you realize more and more what true life really is. But what is that exactly? I can't really tell you because I don't know myself. With that said, is true life the right way we should be living? That is where the second question comes in, and that is connected to childhood. What would a world full of kids look like? Would there be any violence, greed, jealousy, or conflict? Some people believe that a perfect world would be full of people who live like kids. In this world, there would be no societal structure, no boundaries, no rules, but they wouldn't be needed because everyone would live in harmony. The only problem is, while that might seem like the right and ideal way to live, it is just an idea, a concept, a hypothetical situation. In practice, I don't think this world could ever exist, and so we are brought back to the first question. To sum it all up, in my opinion, adulthood is better because it is real. While it may not seem as carefree and relaxed as childhood, I would much rather experience life in its authentic form and see what I can make of it. But that's just my opinion. I really want to hear your thoughts on this topic. I hope I didn't go too far off with that last part, but I think those questions are what leads you to create your opinion on the primary question at hand. I'll show the three again if you're interested in sharing your thoughts. Nothing is too short, and this is not an assignment. We are just having a conversation. While I said that I look forward to adulthood, there's one last alternative that I would like to present. Both are equal and complementary. Childhood and adulthood together make up the true life that we all get to live. But as I said in the beginning, who really knows? If you made it this far, thank you for hearing me out, and I hope it was worth your time. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to keep up with future uploads. This has been Dark Horse, and I will see you in the next video.